Before the glory, before the money, before the golds and the trophies, Cristiano Ronaldo endured struggles that you can't even imagine. And without the bravery of this Ronaldo, we would have never met this Ronaldo. Because absolutely nothing hinted at this kind of success. Cristiano Ronaldo might have never been born. His mother considered having an abortion because she already had 3 children, and financially, her home life was so fragile she couldn't look after another. Her doctor convinced her to keep the baby.
Cristiano was ultimately born on February 5, 1985 in Funchal on the island of Madeira.
But he grew up in extreme poverty with his brother and 2 sisters. The kid shared a tiny bedroom with Hugo, his eldest sibling. The family had nothing. I grew up with nothing. We were very poor. I didn't get toys or presents at Christmas. Money wasn't the only problem. Jose Diniz, Cristiano's father, wasn't involved in his son's upbringing. He was also suffering from an alcohol addiction, and it ultimately led to his death in 2005 after a tumor developed in his liver. The young boy quickly began using football as an escape. He made friends and played with them in the street. He even skipped meals to spend time outside. And at 11, his life took a decisive turn. His talent caught the eye of the best scouts in the country. He joined his favorite club, Sporting Lisbon. Young Cristiano was living the dream, but the dream quickly turned into a nightmare because he ended up spending the worst years of his life there. No money, no family, no friends. All he brought with him were 2 things: his talent, of course, but above all, his immense determination. I had to leave my family aged 12 to live in Lisbon by myself. It was very difficult for me. It was the worst experience of my life. This was the start of a long road full of challenges. At the time, young Cristiano was so poor that he had to beg for food. I lived in Lisbon with other young boys. It was difficult. We were far from our families. I didn't have money. We were hungry around 11. We lived near McDonald's. We asked for hamburgers and leftovers from a woman named Edna. Unfortunately, fighting to fill his stomach was only a small part of his daily struggle. Cristiano excelled on the pitch, but that was far from the case at school. He was failing academically, and at 14, he lost it. In Madeira, the accent is very different. When he opened his mouth, you didn't understand what he was saying, and everyone made fun of him. One day, he threw a chair at a teacher because everyone was making fun of him, and she didn't do anything to stop it. A dark form of harassment which reminded him of his old demons. When he was a child, he was made fun of a lot by his teammates. Some gave him the nickname Crybaby because he would occasionally cry when he was angry. We called him Crybaby because he loved to win, and that's still the case today, but he really hated losing. And as soon as he lost or someone didn't pass to him, he'd start crying. He was expelled after the incident with his teacher. In the eyes of the young man, school was just a prison where he couldn't express himself freely. One thing was clear: he didn't have a place somewhere like that. He was convinced that the only place he needed to be was the football pitch. The teen wanted to dedicate his life to the beautiful game, so he didn't get down on himself. His mother made the decision to leave everything and move to the capital with him. From then on, the young man picked himself up. But there was still a long way to go. He forged a character and a mentality of steel. From that moment on, he was determined to succeed and work hard. Very hard. The kid from Madeira wanted to prove that he could succeed and realized one thing: you're not the best when you believe you are, but when you know it. Cristiano searched for ways to stand out in his own team. I was 16, he's just turned 15. The first memory I have of him is in the shower. He was doing sit-ups and challenging everyone. "I'll do more than you." I was impressed the very first time I saw him on the pitch. The kid didn't just show that he knew how to play football. He made sure his teammates witnessed all of his ability, with one aim: leaving an impression. He was different from the others. What marked me the most was his mentality. Already at this age, I was seeing him work harder than the others. He wanted to be stronger, to go faster, to be the best. There was no doubt that Cristiano Ronaldo would become great. He would leave his mark on the sport. But while all his efforts seemed to be finally paying off, doctors discovered that he had a heart abnormality, a problem that could have represented a risk and put an end to his dream. And without a rapid intervention, CR7 would have never existed. At rest, his heart beat too fast. I was in Madeira when I found out. I immediately gave my permission for a laser procedure. We were all sad and preoccupied because there was a risk that he'd have to stop football. In the end, everything went well. Once again, Cristiano Ronaldo overcame an obstacle placed in his way. Was he finally out of the tunnel? The young man kept working, and with a lot of determination. He was convinced that all his sacrifices would pay off, and everyone who crossed his path knew what would happen. The kid from Madeira's success was nothing but a question of time. His performances at the training center were largely convincing. And at 17 years old, Sporting's coach gave him a shot with the pros. In 2003, he signed for Manchester United, and his career took off. We all know what happened next. Hundreds of goals. Dozens of trophies. Cristiano Ronaldo is a living legend. The Portuguese player continues to surprise the world despite his age. He is the perfect example that you should never give up. And we, the football fans, have to admire his longevity. Longevity which is the result of a life full of sacrifices. He deprived himself of so many things to taste victory. Victory in a fight that's never easy to win. A fight against life and its terrible injustices. Put his talent and his determination to one side. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't have anything to help him succeed. Success can sometimes hang by a thread. Cristiano did, however, prove to the entire world that despite your origins or your social class, it's possible to achieve your dreams. The Portuguese player is truly passionate. He's passing all his knowledge and values onto his son, Cristiano Jr. And if you learn one thing from this man, it's that you should never lose sight of your goals. Cristiano Ronaldo started from nothing. So, never give up. Be confident and don't listen to people who doubt you. If you have a dream, you have to protect it and fight all the way to make it happen. The best advice we can give you is to follow Cristiano's.